Hello my friends, today we bring you Gemma Arterton's filmography. Capturing Mary. A young man leads an older woman on a journey into her dark past, revisiting the time when, as a little girl, she crossed paths with a stranger whose presence altered the course of her life forever. St Trinian's. The legacy of St Trinian's is at risk, with no money to pay the bills and under pressure from the Minister of Education, Geoffrey Thwaites. The school faces closure. The students, however, devise a bold plan to save it. 3 and Out. London tube driver Paul Callow is deeply shaken after running over and killing 2 people in 2 weeks, until he hears a wild rumor that a driver who kills 3 people in a month gets pensioned off with a decade's pay. RocknRolla. The billionaire Yuri Amovich strikes a deal with gangster Lenny Cole, but the painting loaned to celebrate the occasion goes missing, sparking a search that entangles criminals like 1-2 and Archie. Quantum of Solace. After the death of Vesper Lynd, James Bond seeks revenge against the organization responsible. He faces Dominic Green, who plans to dominate a vital natural resource while dealing with dangers and betrayals. Pirate Radio. In 1966, with the BBC broadcasting little pop music, pirate radio DJs operate on boats outside British waters. Quentin leads the station and an eccentric crew, including DJs who try to help his godson lose his virginity. The disappearance of Alice Creed. Vic and Danny plan to kidnap Alice, a wealthy young woman, hoping her family will pay a ransom. But the plans become complicated with money, sex, and greed, creating a tense and dangerous environment. St Trinian's 2, The Legend of Fritton's Gold. The girls at St Trinian's discover that Miss Fritton is related to a pirate, and in search of a lost treasure, they embark on a fun and challenging journey filled with adventures. Clash of the Titans. Perseus discovers that he is the son of Zeus, but rejects his divine heritage. Confronting Hades, the god of the underworld, and without divine help to save the city, he leads a group of warriors on a dangerous mission to prevent the destruction of Earth. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. In Alamut, the Sands of Time grant the power to turn back time. Dostan, the king of Persia's adopted son, escapes with Princess Tamina after being accused of killing her father. They must protect the treasure and uncover the true assassin. Tamara Drewe. Tamara Drewe returns to her hometown and causes a stir. After undergoing plastic surgery, she becomes the object of desire for 3 men, Andy, her ex-boyfriend Ben, and Nicholas, who is married. Byzantium. Clara is a young vampire mother who bites her daughter Eleanor. The secret that the two survive on human blood begins to spread, and their past is set to return to haunt them. Song for Marion. Marion knows she is going to die, but her joy persists as she rehearses with the choir friends. Her husband is a grumpy old man who loves her deeply and will need to come to terms with his emotions. Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. Joao and Maria, abandoned in the forest, end up in the house of a wicked witch. After defeating her, they become exterminators of evil creatures. As adults, they investigate the disappearance of children, facing the Black Witch. Runner. A Princeton student becomes the protege of a virtual betting magnate whose business has attracted the attention of the FBI. Now, he must navigate the dangers of the criminal underworld and the scrutiny of the FBI. The Voices. Jerry is a young schizophrenic who talks to his pets, Bosco, a dog, and Mr. Whiskers, a cat. He works at a shipping company and leads a quiet life. When he falls in love with Fiona, unexpected situations arise. The Duchess of Malfi. The widowed Duchess of Malfi desires to marry Antonio, but her brothers, Ferdinand and the Cardinal, are against it. When the spy Bosola discovers that she's secretly married and is pregnant, they plot a cruel revenge. Gemma Bovery. Gemma Bovery, an Englishwoman, moves with her husband to a small French town. Martin Joubert, a local resident, sees similarities with Madame Bovary and follows her as she gets involved in an extramarital affair. 100 Streets. The lives of 3 people intersect on the streets of London. A former rugby player struggles to save his marriage. A drug dealer wants to leave the criminal life. and a taxi driver and his wife face challenges to have children. The Girl with All the Gifts. In the near future, a mysterious virus transforms people into insatiable zombies. Scientists find a girl who has the potential to save the future of humanity, offering hope amidst the chaos. The History of Love. A lost book resurfaces in modern-day New York, connecting the life of an elderly Jewish immigrant, still mourning the loss of his true love, with a young woman discovering love for the first time. Orpheline. Sandra, Corinne, Kiki, and Renee are four women whose stories, marked by disasters, escapes, and tragedies, intertwine to reveal different facets of the same person over the course of a lifetime. Their Finest. During the London Blitz of 1940, screenwriter Katrin joins a British film crew to create a patriotic film that uplifts English morale and inspires hope amidst World War II. The Escape. A housewife and mother feels overwhelmed by the demands of her domestic duties. Exhausted, she makes the extraordinary decision to leave everything behind to find herself in Paris. Vita and Virginia. In 1922, the young author Vita Sackville-West begins to experience success. When she crosses paths with the renowned writer Virginia Woolf, the two embark on a passionate but forbidden love affair. Murder mystery. During a trip through Europe, a New York police officer and his hairstylist wife become involved in the investigation of a murder aboard the yacht of an eccentric billionaire. How to Build a Girl. The teenage Johanna Morrigan leaves her hometown of Wolverhampton, England, to try to make a name for herself around the world. She transitions from Johanna to reinvent herself as Dolly Wilde, a famous yet troubled music critic. My Zoe. The geneticist Isabel is recovering from a troubled relationship as she takes care of her 7-year-old daughter, Zoe, with her ex-husband, James. After a tragedy, Isabel struggles to protect Zoe, who is everything to her. Summerland. During World War II, a tough and solitary researcher takes in a boy fleeing the bombings in London. Gradually, she begins to open her heart in an emotional journey of friendship and imagination. Walden. After returning from a year-long lunar mission, Cassie, a NASA botanist, finds herself in a remote cabin in the forest where her twin sister, Stella, a former NASA architect, has found a new life with the environmental activist Brian. The King's Man. A man must race against time to prevent the worst tyrants and criminals in history from exterminating millions and putting humanity at risk. He faces a challenge to save the world. Rogue Agent. Based on the true story of Robert Freegard, a conman who posed as a secret agent of MI5 to make several people disappear, until a woman who fell in love with him decides to bring him to justice. The Critic. A story of ambition, blackmail, and desire with a captivating anti-hero at its dark core. A police officer caught in an increasingly tight Faustian pact. Patrick Marber adapted the screenplay from Anthony Quinn's novel. Who would you like to see in the next video? Write in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.